So on the 13th of September 2023, Adobe released Photoshop 2024, and with it, Generative Fill and Generative Expand AI, which after just a few months is now out of beta and can also be used for commercial purposes. Plus, the pixel dimensions of what it generates at the highest quality has been increased from 1024 pixels square to 2000 pixels square. But has all this been rushed out just a little bit too quickly? Because for photographers, I don't think it's quite ready yet. Now, just like millions of people around the world, I have thoroughly enjoyed playing and experimenting with Generative Fill in the beta version of Photoshop for the past few months. The technology is incredible, and for what I've been using it for, which has been things like fixing selections, fixing blown out highlights, changing composition, adding special effects, and admittedly the occasional bit of stupidity, it's been quite literally mind-blowing. I am totally on board with this kind of technology, using it in my editing workflow, and I really can't wait to see how it progresses. To be honest though, I thought it would have been in beta for a lot longer, certainly until after Adobe Max coming up in October. But on September the 13th, Adobe released Photoshop 2024, which includes Generative Fill and Generative Expand. So no longer in beta, and by reading the press releases, it's all good to go, including for commercial use. Now, of course, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and the like have been literally flooded with videos showing all of this in action since the release of 2024 and it coming out of beta, making claims about the quality when you use it to generate areas up to 2000 pixels square, matching that of the image you're using it in. But this isn't what I'm seeing. Images where I've used Generative Fill for challenging selections in small areas are definitely usable, and in every other example of using it, the results look fantastic on social media. But outside of that, I don't think it's ready yet for serious use by photographers where their images are going to be viewed on a larger screen or even printed. Because if anything is going to show flaws in an image, it's a print. Let me show you what I mean by going through these three images. First of all, this photograph that I took of my friend 𝐷𝐼. Let's say I want to add some content on the left and right hand side to make this more of a landscape orientated picture. I'll go to the crop tool and use Generative Expand and drag out whilst holding down the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows, and then reposition 𝐷𝐼 just here and then press enter or return. When I do, Generative Expand then goes to work and in a short space of time generates content to fill in the transparent areas. Of course, because the areas it filled are bigger than 2000 pixels square, the results look great when viewed really small in something like social media, but when you look closer, the quality is definitely not there. And that's to be expected. But now let's do this using the recommended dimensions for the best results out of Generative Fill, which is now 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels. So I'll revert this image back. Then I'll grab the crop tool and in the options bar at the top of the screen, choose the default of background or transparent, and then again drag outwards. Next, I'll go to the rectangular marquee tool and in the options bar at the top of the screen, go to Style and choose Fixed Size. In here, I'll enter 2000 for the width and 2000 for the height. So from now on, when I use this tool, I just press down on the image and have a square selection measuring exactly 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels, exactly the right dimensions for Generative Fill. I'll then move it over here, making sure to overlap a little on the original image, and then I'll click on Generative Fill and then Generate. It takes roughly 12 seconds or so for the AI to get to work and look at what it needs to do, and then eventually give you 3 different variations, which we now have here. And the results look great, but when I zoom in, it's a different story. The quality of what has been generated is clearly very different to the original image, and the blending is off a bit too. Now, even if I use the original selection size of 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels, as we've been used to using in the beta version, the results I'm getting are still the same. I mean, you wouldn't notice this on something like Instagram, but I certainly wouldn't post it in my online portfolio or print it out, and definitely wouldn't use this commercially. On this picture of the Prince of Wales Bridge that I took with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, I'll add some new content on the right hand side. Again, I use the crop tool but not generative expand, and I drag outwards to increase the canvas size. I'll then get the rectangular marquee tool in fixed size of 2000 pixels square and position the selection in the top right, making sure to overlap the original just a little. I then press Generative Fill and Generate. And a few seconds later, these are the results. And you can see that again, the content is great, but the quality and detail when I zoom in is nowhere near that of the original image. It's much softer, it looks blurred, and again the blending is off. Lastly, this portrait here that I took of a Welsh sheep farmer where there's lots of detail and texture in the stone wall and grass. I'll increase the canvas size using the crop tool, use the rectangular marquee tool to get the square selection, and then place it here, making sure again to overlap the original just a little. I press Generative Fill and then Generate, and a few seconds later these are the results, which look great until I zoom in, and you can see that what has been generated is much softer and blurred compared to the original image. Now, like I said at the start, I absolutely love this technology, and I'm really excited about how Adobe are moving forward with it and what I'm going to be able to use it for in my editing workflow. But with the results I'm seeing, other than when using it on small areas to fix selections, for anything else, certainly where the image is going to be viewed bigger on a bigger screen or maybe even printed, I really don't feel it's ready for any serious use by photographers. In the nicest possible way, I don't understand why Adobe have taken it out of beta so soon. I'm sure they have their reasons, which we won't be party to, but I can't help but feel that it all seems just a little bit rushed. I'm still very excited about the future of generative fill, but for it to be used seriously outside of small images on social media, above all else, before anything else is done, the quality that it generates needs to be improved. I mean, why increase from 1024 pixels square to 2000 pixels square when the quality at 1024 isn't good enough already? I'd much rather 1024 pixels look great and have to deal with making more selections to fill an area than sacrifice quality. Anyway, I just had to share this because I kind of know that it's not just me getting these results. But when you see and hear so much raving about it, now it's out of beta, but you're not getting the apparent results some people are shouting about, it does make you wonder. But if you're getting the kind of results I'm getting at the moment, then that's at least two of us. Now, I'd love to know what you think and the kind of results that you're getting, so please feel free to make use of the comment section below. But for this video, that's all I've got. So as always, I'd really appreciate a like, and if you haven't yet, click on subscribe, which really should just say follow, and I'll catch you in the next video. Now, don't forget to register for your free pass for the Photoshop Virtual Summit 5 coming up on October 30th through November 3rd. 5 days, 20 instructors, 40 classes full of Photoshop goodness. Use the link in the description to get your free pass, and if you use it, then great. But if you don't, you've lost nothing. So register, get the free pass, and it's there if you want it.